Scientific Lee, everyone. Do we remember him? Here's a quick reminder.
Now, I was going to show a lot of Dan's clips where he abuses people who don't believe what he believes. I decided to just put up the true explanation for gravity. It shows he is a trumped up little man, bellowing stupidity and insults.
Trumped up little man? I'm 6'3". Oh, you were talking figuratively. Right. I don't think I bellow though.
When in fact you, Dan, are incorrect on many things and what you believe is unexplained magical nonsense.
Well, he has resurfaced, this time coming up with something which he thinks replaces evolution altogether. You're gonna love this one. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, back to today's video, which as I said at the start is from Scientific Lee. Now he's out in his garden today and he's got some interesting things to tell us. Be warned though, this video is littered with some pretty extraordinary claims. We'll count them as we go, shall we?
Hello and welcome to Scientifically Speaking. Today we're back in my garden and we're looking at, I used to have 2 trees here, and over the years I've made videos about it. They used to be, you know, healthy trees like that. Now over the years these died, and I commented on the fact that beams of energy that come out of the ground are disappearing as the magnetic field lowers. So the beam of energy holding up this tree is gone.
And there is the first, beams of energy holding up trees. Amazing.
And I pointed out that no trees ever grew here. Now we have trees. Now the funny thing is, all these trees here are thriving. They are the same as that tree, the same as that tree, and there's 2 there of that tree. So this tree is spreading its seeds that way and this way. But trees already here, which were good 10 years ago, are now, I literally blew over. These are now dead as a doornail.
Now there are a variety of reasons for a tree to die. It could be from disease or starvation or a weather event, many different things.
So I've said that the changing magnetic field means that certain things are going to live and certain things are going to die. So what people describe as evolution is merely energy increase or energy decrease.
And there is number 2. Evolution is nothing but an increase or decrease in energy.
Because if these trees are thriving and these are dying, that could eventually lead to there only being these trees. So any other trees would die and you got nothing to eat.
It's your back garden, Lee. It's not exactly a nature reserve. You can't really make claims like that with such a small sample.
And so species become extinct. Only certain species live and have their DNA code activated. Due to that is what the human resonance is at.
And in at number 3 we have DNA being activated by human resonance.
Now I've made a couple of videos on the human resonance and the fact that if it goes up or down, it activates different parts of our DNA. Now, when you think of evolution that way, now I've made a video already where I debunk evolution and show or say, using evidence, that everything is based on energy content.
Just casually throws out that he's debunked evolution. Amazing.
So that all the pictures you've ever seen in your evolutionary books that show a horse with different variations of hoof, and they say this is evolution over hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of years. If you think in energy content terms, when the sun goes micronova and goes out.
And there is number 4, when the sun goes micronova and goes out. The sun itself won't go micronova, as he calls it. Now eventually the sun will become a white dwarf in about 6 billion years. And when it is a white dwarf, these micronova might happen on the surface of this sun as a white dwarf, but it won't go out afterwards.
When it comes back on,
Swiftly followed by number 5, when the sun comes back on. Dear oh dear.
It is going to raise itself in power over the course of several thousand years until it goes micronova again. So during those beginning generations of things like horses, you will find that the DNA code structure is not fully activated because there isn't enough energy resonating from the planet into the Schumann field to activate all the DNA. I've said this on many videos that we don't have junk DNA, we have inactivated DNA due to the energy content of the planet not raising our the field of the planet isn't strong enough to activate all the DNA. So it's not junk DNA, it's just inactivated. And the day the Lord arrives, every piece of gene material will be activated and we will be revealed as the Lord says we will.
You knew that one was coming there, didn't you? That's number 6.
So when you see pictures of evolution saying it went from this to this to this, think of that over 1,000 years. That every generation a more complicated organism appeared, hooves started to appear, fingers, instead of just a lump on the end of something.
Very technical.
I'll put up pictures. So over the course of these generations, as the Schumann resonance and the energy of the planet increases along with the sun increasing, because our planetary field is dependent upon the sun generates our field. So as the sun gets more energetic, the planet becomes more energetic, the Schumann frequency changes and activates more DNA.
Yes, but when the sun is a white dwarf, it won't be very pleasant in the solar system, buddy. For starters, the sun will be nowhere near as luminous as it is now. Not that it would matter to us. During the final stages of nuclear fusion, the sun would have swelled to about our orbit, so either we would have been engulfed by it, or would be a scorched rock with no atmosphere.
So these pictures of these horses with different kind of hooves, I say, is merely the increase of energy over 1,000 years. It is not to do with evolution over millions of years and the climate and the environment that you live in. Everything is dependent upon energy content.
Number 7. The evolution of the horse's hoof took place over 1,000 years because of energy, and not millions of years because of natural selection.
So all these pictures of horses or any other line of fossils you want to show to me is only over a certain amount of time due to the Schumann resonance activating more DNA as it gets stronger. So evolution doesn't exist.
And in at number 8, evolution doesn't exist. Can we get to 10?
And just seeing the content of the trees, this one here. This side of the tree is rotten. All the branches have come down. This side's been dying for the last couple of years. Now if I take one step this way, it's a new tree, same as that. But this side of the beam has gone. The beam has moved sideways. So there's one right there. There's another one of those trees that's way over there. I think that's... And there's another one in there which is the same as this one. So it's now moving this way.
What would happen if I stood in one of those beams of energy? Would I grow?
Which is a almost southeasterly direction. The trees are moving that way, so they're moving in 2 directions. So just generally looking around, energy content decrease will kill everything on the planet. There is no getting away from it, because if food isn't activated, well, the food will not grow. Them seeds will remain in the ground until one day they get activated and they become fruit trees again or vegetables again. But until that time, no, there wouldn't be any food, and there would only be certain things growing, because that's the only frequency that will grow whatever is growing.
Okay, I'm lost now. What is he blithering on about, honestly? Let's leave Lee in his garden for the moment and let him search for energy beams, as I say we are all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We're really going for 500,000 subscribers now. We're so close. Of course, if you really enjoyed it too, hello buddy, come here, come on. Zeus says, if you really enjoyed it too, hit the like button. Whoop. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week. I'll see you all on Friday for the return of Taboo Conspiracy. He's got more flat earth proof. See you then.